Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful week like always. I am finally continuing with my Cyndi Lauper discography journey. It has been a while since I uploaded my last Cyndi Lauper video when I listened to her very first album from 1983, her debut album, She's So Unusual, and finally we're moving onward with her second studio album from 1986, 3 years later, called True Colors. I enjoyed her first album so much that I'm hoping this album has repeat success for me. I'm hoping I love this album just as much as I loved her first album, She's So Unusual. And looking at the track list, the album is quite short. There are only 10 tracks. The album is 39 minutes, and the only track I remember hearing is obviously track number 4, True Colors. All the other songs don't look familiar to me, but like always, if I start listening to a song and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. So let's jump right into the album with track number 1, Change of Heart. I see your true colors. I've heard this song before. Yes, track number 1, Change of a Heart. I do remember hearing this song, that chorus. Once I hit that chorus, it was all coming back to me. I don't remember where, I don't remember when, but I do remember hearing this song, and it's a great song. I love the production. It got my body moving, rocking out, jamming along to some Cyndi Lauper. It's just a classic 80s song from 1986. And it was definitely rock inspired as well, not just pop. I think I recall hearing electric guitar in this track as well. I'm just on a Cyndi Lauper high right now, so we're gonna keep the high going with track number 2, Maybe He'll Know. I love it already. Yes. Alrighty, that was track number 2, Maybe He'll Know. And this is the very first time ever in one of these videos where I actually have cramps now. From moving my body side to side, swaying my hips from side to side, and it was so much fun. I couldn't stop moving. She sounded great in the song as well. I'm out of breath, I'm exhausted, and it kind of reminded me of Elvis. I don't know if I'm the only one, but the production, I don't know, it was reminding me of Elvis from, I don't know, the 1950s or the 1960s. I am going on my Elvis discography journey. I already listened to his very first 3 albums, and I don't know, I was getting Elvis vibes from this song. It just sounds like a song that could have been released in the 1950s or 60s. But anyway, let's move on to track number 3, Boy Blue. This melody kind of sounds like Time After Time. Okay, and that was track number 3, A Boy Blue. Oh my god, her vocals. She sounds so great in this song. This whole album so far, I'm loving this album. It's so much fun. I'm loving it just as much as her debut album. The highlight of the album for me is the production. It's just getting my body moving, and I am absolutely in love with it. Where are you when she put you out on your own? It may have stolen your innocence, but no, not your soul. Tell me, where is little boy blue? You'll find him standing always one step ahead. Dance a little, cry a little, boy blue. And then she goes on to say, on the street, kids walking, just a kid. Hey, where are you? Where are you, boy blue? So I'm curious to know what this song is about. And it says that this song, Boy Blue, is a song for a friend who died of AIDS, and the title comes from a poem by Eugene Field called Little Boy Blue. She says, I tried to write about my friend. I knew he really loved That's What Friends Are For. I know that maybe he would have liked me to do a song like that. Instead, I wrote about him personally. I don't know that my lyrics were good enough. I don't know that anything was good enough. Maybe it was too personal. I don't know. But I wrote it for him. It was because of him that I keep trying to do stuff, and other friends. So many talented people, so many of our friends, and so many gifted people have passed on or struggle every day just to live. And it was because of my friends and others that I do this. Maybe that song wasn't good enough. I don't know. Oh, I'm getting teary-eyed. It was good enough, Cyndi. It was good enough. And I do keep forgetting that quite a few songs and albums that were released back in the 80s and even the 90s did touch on the AIDS epidemic, and it really does put that decade and some of the albums and songs into perspective. And a lot of people did lose so many friends and family and acquaintances and lovers. And just like she said, so many gifted, talented people had to die. So now let's move on to track number 4, True Colors. Alrighty, that was track number 4, True Colors. This has to be one of my favorite songs from the 80s. It's so powerful and it transcends so many generations. Anybody can relate to this song, regardless of when you were born. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you, so don't be afraid to let it show your true colors. True colors are shining through. I just feel like this song encompasses Cyndi Lauper as a whole. I mean, this song is her because she was never ashamed to be herself. Her quirky, weird self. Everything she wore, everything she said, the way she acted, the way she danced, her music, everything was just her. And she never put on a fake mask. So if Cyndi Lauper can teach us anything, it's just be yourself. Let your freak flag fly and show off your true colors. And I know it's such a cliche saying, a lot of people roll their eyes nowadays. You are beautiful like a rainbow, you're a precious little snowflake. A lot of people roll their eyes, but I feel like now more than ever in 2020, we need encouragement like that. There's so much doom and gloom and shit happening in the world right now. So many people are just so fucking depressed and angry that songs like this just... we need more songs like this in the world. But anyway, let's move on to track number 5, Calm Inside the Storm. Okay, and that was track number 5, Calm Inside the Storm, and I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't get into that song. I really tried. I tried moving my body to it, but I didn't care for this song. It kind of sounded like a filler track. It just, I don't know, to me it wasn't very memorable at all. Definitely my least favorite track on the album so far. I probably won't go back to it. I don't know, maybe I have to listen to it a couple more times, but it didn't really stick to me. The highlight for me, once again, was her voice. She sounded great on it. But anyway, let's move on to track number 6, What's Going On, featuring Chuck D. Okay, and that was track number 6, What's Going On. This was a very powerful song. It was very politically driven as well. Mother, mother, there's too many of you cried, and brother, brother, there's far too many of you died. You know you've got to find a way to bring love here today. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring love in here today. Picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. This album, True Colors, definitely has a different energy and tone than her first album, She's So Unusual. She's So Unusual, her debut album, was more frivolous, fun, upbeat, pop music, immature at times, youthful, and it was a lot of fun. This album's fun as well, but it's definitely more serious and it's more mature sounding as well. I am picking up on themes of acceptance and being true to yourself and loving one another and being positive, loving your brother, loving your sister instead of hating one another. I mean, in 2020, this song is so fucking relatable. At the beginning of the song, I did hear gunshots in the production. And whenever someone says the word war, I always associate that with invading a country and firearms and grenades and bombs, lots of unnecessary death, but war isn't just that. It's also the war we have internally with ourselves and one another as people, as a society. The war in 2020 we're having right now with each other, the political war and human rights war, and there's so many wars happening right now. Now, this song isn't an original Cyndi song. It was originally recorded in 1971 by Marvin Gaye. I don't think I've heard the Marvin Gaye version, so I can't compare the two, but I really enjoyed Cyndi's version. So now let's move on to track number 7, Akiko, Akiko. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. I feel like I've heard this song before. Okay, and that was track number 7, Akiko, Akiko, and I have definitely heard this song before. I just don't think I heard Cyndi's version. And I looked into it, and Akiko Akiko is a much covered New Orleans song that tells of a parade collision between two tribes of Mardi Gras Indians and the traditional confrontation. The song, originally called Jock Amo, was written and released in 1953 as a single by Sugar Boy and his Cade Cutters. Now, James Crawford, who did write the song, was asked in an interview in 2002, how did you construct Jock Mo, and he says it came from two Indian chants that I put music to. Aiko Aiko was like a victory chant that the Indians would shout. Giacomo was a chant that was called when the Indians went into battle. You learn something new every day. Aren't you happy you're subscribed to my channel? I really enjoyed the song. Definitely not a typical pop song you hear from a mainstream pop artist like Cyndi Lauper. But strangely enough, I do feel like the song does suit her style and voice. So now let's move on to track number 8, The Faraway Nearby. Okay, that was track number 8, The Faraway Nearby, and it was a cute song. This was another track, just like track number 5, Calm Inside the Storm. This was another track I couldn't really get into, unfortunately. I don't think it's very memorable. When I do listen to True Colors again in the future, because I'll be listening to this album again and again and again, this probably won't be a song I'll go back to a lot. In The Faraway Nearby, can you hear me call out? In the faraway nearby, I'm breaking down the walls till you're here to stay out from the far away. But we still have 2 tracks left, so let's move on to track number 9, 911. Oh my god, that guy at the end sounded like the Joker. Okay, that was track number 9, 911. This was a fun, catchy song. There's a riot in the kitchen and the bed's on fire. There's a locket in my pocket that I can't find. I'm at the window whistling in the wind. I'm at my own front door and I can't get in. I'm dialing up 911. I really liked the lyrics in this song. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's not one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably near the bottom, but I would still probably listen to it again. It is a fun song and I enjoyed listening to it. So we have come to the end of the album. Ladies and gentlemen, track number 10, One Track Mind. Okay, and that was the final track of the album, track number 10, One Track Mind. I actually enjoyed listening to this song. It was more so just pure instrumental. There weren't a lot of vocals in the song. I was just closing my eyes and letting the music take over my body, and I enjoyed it. What I also loved about the song was that heavenly voice in the production. It sounded like a choir. It sounded like an angel singing. It was so haunting, yet it was so beautiful at the same time. But anyway, that is all 10 tracks of True Colors, and I really enjoyed this album. Definitely a different tone than her first album. Like I said already, her first album was Girls Just Wanna Have Fun. It was full of fun, it was full of joy, it was immature, it was youthful, and if you watched my first listen video to that album, you could tell I was just having a total blast listening to that album, She's So Unusual. It was so much fun. I had fun listening to this album as well, but it was more somber in parts, it was more serious. It was a little bit politically driven as well. And it was sad. There were parts on this album where I was almost reduced to tears. And I almost wanted to start crying. In particular, Boy Blue and True Colors. I mean, I do prefer the first half to the second half. I prefer the first and middle part of the album. And my least favorite part is probably the last part of the album. She sounded great on this album. Her voice is just perfection. It's so unique sounding, and I always love listening to Cyndi's voice. Also, for me, one of the highlights was the production as well. The production was, I mean, you saw for yourself. It got my body moving. It got me moving my ass on this yoga ball that I have right here. I always sit on this yoga ball when I do these first listen videos, jumping up and down like a madman. So I think that's all I wanted to say on the album. What did you guys think of it? What are your favorite tracks? And do you prefer her debut album, She's So Unusual? Or do you prefer her second album, this album, True Colors? I mean, this album was released only 3 years after She's So Unusual, but you can already hear the maturity and the growth in Cyndi, in her voice and the lyrics and what she has to say. The 80s was definitely a very dark time for a lot of people with the AIDS epidemic going on. So officially, I think that's all I wanted to say. In my next Cyndi Lauper video, we'll be moving on to her third studio album called A Night to Remember from 1989. So thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, and you can check out my playlist and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.